dragon, rock the dragon, come get me. Dragon Ball Z. Dragon, dragon, rock the dragon, Dragon Ball Z. Dragon, dragon, rock the dragon, come get me. Dragon, dragon, rock the dragon, Dragon Ball Z. Dragon, dragon, rock the dragon, come get me.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy Rootsley here. I'm back on MTGO yet again, and man, let me tell you, I am so excited to be back. I've been testing a Golgari list in paper, Golgari Reanimator, that I've been doing fairly well with, and I wanted to try to take it into a league. Now, I already played the league, so I'm doing a voiceover recording on the actual video itself. Wanted to talk about some of the card choices real quick. A lot of the staples that are in here are very normal choices, like you have Entomb, you have Dark Rituals, Exhume, Unmasked Griefs, Gristlebrand Archons. These are all cards you're going to see in almost every Reanimator shell that exists currently. The big difference between my list and normal Reanimator is I actually play with Galta, and a very interesting creature, but for 8 mana, he essentially allows you to put all creatures from your hand into play, which is a very powerful effect. I'm also trying out Troll of Khazad-dûm in the main deck, as well as Collector Brutality. Now, most lists, instead of playing with Brutality, they will play with Faithless in that slot. That's fine. Faithless is a really good card. I do like the flexibility that Brutality gives you, as well as it being an uncounterable discard outlet. And the spice now of why we're Golgari, the sideboard here, as you can see, 4 Sedgemoor Witch, 4 Witherbloom Apprentice, and 4 Chain of Smog. Now, what that allows you to do, essentially, is it allows you to transform postboard into a combo deck that could juke sideboard hate. And the 3 Snuffouts are essentially just there for extra removal, so when you get Sedgemoors going, you can kind of just blow up all their creatures. The rest of the list, pretty stock, I'd say. But I'm really excited to try out a league and see how it goes. I haven't been on MTGO in probably, I'd say at least a year and a half. So this is going to be my first league back, and it looks like we're diving right in. Let's see if I can turn down this volume a little. There we go. And as you can see, my client is all kinds of messed up because I haven't played in so long. This hand looks a little sketchy. I could envision throwing this one back. Like, yes, it has a discard outlet, but I just don't think it does enough. This hand, however, I'm very interested in. And I think with this hand, you probably bottom the Exhume. So that way you have Entomb, Reanimate, and Brutality if you get a land. Basic Forest. Abundant Growth, fascinating. So, some kind of control brew, it looks like. But that's my initial reaction right off the rip. And I think I'm just going to take it slow. Just land pass here. Opponent very content on just playing a slow game here. Another abundant growth, okay. So, with our hand context, I believe this Entomb probably gets Galta. It'll allow us to just kind of dump, free Galta into play. And if he doesn't have any kind of interaction here, this will be the game. Petal was a great draw. And we're going to animate Dead Gun Galta. And we're going to trigger. It's my first time using Galta online, so I'm just trying to figure out how it works. There we go. And we're going to draw a bunch of cards. And opponent concedes. Alright. So just like that, we steal game 1. Wonder if there's a way. There we go. Okay. And now what we're doing here, guys, is we're actually boarding in the witch combo. And we'll see how this goes. This hand's lacking a mana, but otherwise seems relatively solid. I'll keep this. Best draws here are probably like a Dark Ritual or a land. Ooh, Wasteland. That makes it a lot more complicated now because we can't just run out the Bayou and have it get wasted. Ooh, this is tough. Yeah, maybe you just discard the Archon here. Like, playing Bayou and just having it get immediately wasted, I think probably loses you the game. You need to find a basic or a fetch here. And we'll grief just to see what's going on over there. He hasn't played a mana yet, so assuming his hand is just chock full of interaction. We'll see if he wants to fight over this grief. Alright, let's see what he's working with here. Oh my! Alright. So, double Force of Will, Force of Negation, Endurance, Birds, Abundant Growth, Plow. That is quite the hand. Yeah, I mean, I think you just have to start working through the Force of Wills. Still have to pass here. Can't just throw out the swamp. Need to find a basic. Ooh, and he found his green source. That's worst case scenario for us. Alright, Abundant Growth. So we know his hand is chock full of interaction. And we still haven't found a land. I think I'm not really sure here. I think we might have just been in a really bad spot. Not being able to find any kind of like troll or any swamp or anything has really made this game difficult. Alright, opponent's gonna ponder. Alright, we finally find the basic. Did it come too late? That's the question. I kind of like just passing here. We know their hand is all just interaction. So there's really no real reason to grief there. You typically, when you're griefing, you want to have some kind of follow-up play. Ooh, Ritual was a good draw, however. So I think the play here is probably just grief, pitch, Gristlebrand, and see what's going on over there. Because you have both the Witherbloom line and the Entomb line. He's probably going to force this, I'd imagine. Okay, so he Force of Wills. Pitching is Force of Negation. So now do we just jam? I mean, opponent would have to have... We know he has Endurance, but he would have to have no other counter or removal spell for us to just jam here with Witherbloom. I don't know if that's the line here. It's a tough spot, to be honest. Let's see if I go for it. Looks like I am going for it. I don't know if I like this line. Ooh, interesting. Interesting. So I elect to Chain of Smog target him. I don't hate this play, because we definitely know he has some kind of interaction, right? Oh, and he did have the plow. So we did have the correct read that he was sitting there with removal. Wow. So he had plow and endurance. So we know he's still holding up endurance. Another Witherbloom. Not a bad draw. Very interesting opponent didn't Wasteland. That might be telling us that he doesn't have a green card to exile. Yeah, another plow. Wow. Brutal. Entomb, not the best draw in the world, but we can live with it. We know his hand's Endurance, an unknown card. And he finally fires off the Wasteland. Oh, man. Endurance during the end step. Okay. Well, if he doesn't have another Endurance in hand, I mean, we do have the win. Highly unlikely that he doesn't, though. I would think he probably has another one with the way this game has been played. Reanimate was a good draw. I think we just jam here and hope he doesn't have it. And our one of Gristlebrand is already exiled, so we have to get Archon, I believe. Yep. Yeah, so we have to take the Archon, which is fine. And you definitely want to use Animate Dead here, because you won't be able to cast it unless you draw a land. Okay, and it looks like opponent did have the Endurance. Unfortunate. Still have a slight chance if we draw a land. Uh-oh. Oh, Yori on the hand, okay. Yeah, so if we draw exactly a land this turn, I mean, we have a chance. But we're definitely not in a good spot. Yeah, Grief was not it. I think we might be dead here, guys. Man, Yorion's such a beating in this spot. I think here I'm just contemplating whether or not I wanted to Grief his Yorion and reanimate it. It might be correct, honestly, to grief the Orion and reanimate it, but I like to go for the Archon. Yeah, Ice Fang Coatl too. This game is very out of hand now. I think we are pretty deceased here. Scavenging Ooze. Okay. That'll do it. And we concede. Don't think we change much. Think we probably just resubmit. Maybe bring in an extra Snuffo. I do like shaving a petal. Bring in a second Grissin. Okay. I don't hate that against plow decks. Alright, game 3. Hand seems fine. It's got removal, a couple pieces of discard, and an entomb. I think I keep this. It's close. Like, you could make the argument to an opponent mulliganed and looked like he was like, I'm out of here. Alright. Sweet. So, starting off the league with a win. And our first match back to MTGO. The format in general just seems like it's so much faster now with all the goblin decks, and even goblins now kills you on turn 2 or turn 3 with Muxus. It's crazy. Alright, match 2. Unban Oko and Lab. Alright. This hand seems great. I'm gonna keep. Let's see what opponent's on. Scalding Tarn. Scalding Tarn, Lotus Petal. That screams combo deck. Not much else to do here, but just jam. We at least have the petals to play around days. I think you just grab Gris here. We could Galta and dump in an Archon, but against Sneak and Show, I think you just want to tear apart their hand. Alright, moment of truth. Does it resolve? Veil of Summer. Okay. Well, that's a bummer. And a concede. Alright. So... thinking Sneak and Show, maybe? Where if that be the case, we don't actually want to board out a ton of creatures. If it is Sneak and Show. Very interesting to see how I sideboard for this. I don't know if I like bringing in the chain combo, knowing that they're on Sneak and Show. Maybe just the Sedgemoor Witches, just to apply a little bit of pressure in case they have a cage. But I don't think I would bring in, like, the full chain combo here. I think that's what I'm mulling over right now. Can probably shave on a little bit of discard, maybe one or two trolls. Looks like I'm bringing the discard back in, shaving a Gristlebrand, an Exhume, and a Witch. Okay. This hand would be great, but unfortunately it has no mana. Gotta ship it. This hand, however, is certainly good enough to keep. I think you just bought him the Gulta here. Yep. Okay. Ancient Tomb. Does he have the turn one? No. Oh, Moto Bug the Gulta back to my hand. Alright. We're gonna go for it. So this hand does beat a Force of Will. If his only interaction here is Force of Will, he is actually dead right now. Ah, man. Oko, you were supposed to Force of Will the Entomb. The classic do you force the Entomb or the animation spell? Ah. Good game. Yeah, our hand just stacked up perfectly. I think most times, if your opponent leads on a ritual into an Entomb, you almost always want to force either the ritual or the Entomb. You almost never want to counter the animation spells, because once I've already established a lethal graveyard, it's going to be an uphill battle even if you get through that turn, you know what I mean? You're still having to counter my animates for the rest of the game, which is why I'm not a huge fan of that. But good games. Alright, looks like we're on the play. And we opened up Three of a Kind. That one gets shipped back. This hand, I think, also gets shipped. It has a tomb, but other than that, I don't know. We have a tomb and unmask, but I just don't think that's good enough. No animation spell. I think we're supposed to go to 5. This hand seems fine. I'd keep this. I'd bottom 2 lands and just jam turn 1. I think it's kind of what we signed up for right now. If he has the force, he has the force, right? I think we just have to jam. Yeah, it looks like he was F6, so probably no force of will, I would imagine. Oh, bummer. We whiffed. Ooh, Caracas. That's a good card to have. At least now we can unmask them to try to figure out what's going on here. Question is, what do you unmask? Hmm. Galta is a line that we get next turn. Might be able to get past the Caracas with Galta, just vomiting out a bunch of creatures. Okay, I don't hate this line, actually, so I'm just gonna go to clean up and discard the Galta. Okay. That makes sense. Urza's Saga. And Thalia. I think we're okay with that. We're gonna exhume the Galta and just kind of go crazy here, right? This is a really good showcasing for Galta here. Of why I feel this card should be in most Reanimator lists. I think you probably just want to pitch the Entomb at this point. No? Oh. Well, we'll see what he's working with. Okay, definitely don't want to take the creature. So opponent's probably going to concede here to the Galta. Like, I just can't foresee a world where he's going to be able to beat Galta, Gris, and Archon with just a single Caracas. So this is about to get relatively graphic. All right. Trigger Archon. Get to draw a card. I've already played a land. So we just pass here. And we are very lethal. And we win. All right. Excellent Galta showing there. Showcasing the power level of the card. I just think white decks in general, they just have such a hard time against that, right? And now we're going to definitely bring in the Witch combo. I like shaving exhumes. They're on white, so most likely they have some number of solitudes. I think we're going to bring in the full package along with snuff outs. I could be wrong. I have quite a few cards to shave here. Brutality doesn't seem amazing. They play a lot of creatures and artifacts. Could go down to 2 trolls. And we need one more cut here. What's the cut? Is it just an unmask? Okay. Man, this hand is 1 mana away from greatness. If it had a land... if I had a land, I would snap this hand off, but... I just don't think you could snap keep with no mana. It still has grief for Reanimate. Don't get me wrong, like, the hand is very close. I think it's probably a mulligan. I just think it's too greedy to keep this hand. It is close, though, I will say that. If you guys did keep this, I would not fault you one bit for keeping this hand. If you rippled mana off the top, this hand is insane. Okay, and I do mulligan. Find a much better hand on 6. I think I probably just bottom the Entomb here, honestly. Yeah, I think we're just fully on the plan B plan, so putting Entomb on the bottom's fine. Okay, leads on Saga. Interesting. So we got a turn 1 Sedgemoor here. I don't hate that. Ooh, and he does have the Ancient Tomb. Another Sedgemoor. Wow. This hand is getting pretty quick. So I think I just ritual out another Sedgemoor here and just go for maximum beatdown. We have a Snuff Out too. We're going to get another Pest. I mean, this is a really fast clock. Because Snuff Out is also going to get us 2 Pests as well. Yeah, he might be pretty close to dead already, to be honest with you. Especially having to tap his own Ancient Tomb. Even removal is kind of painful for him, because he's got to pay 3 life. Let's see what he gets here. It's probably going to be an Opal. Yep. Chrome Mox. Interesting. No pitch. He's playing it just to increase the construct size? Okay. Uh-oh. Alright, well, he's swinging at us. So if we snuff out his guy at his Ed step, we're going to have 6, 7, 8, 9 damage coming through. So I think we just snuff out his untapped construct here. And we swing all out. opponent looks pretty dead here. I mean, I could be wrong, but... Mana Tithe. It has been quite some time since I have seen that card. I think opponent's dead here. Pinning Needle, okay. We drew a Grief. It's not a bad draw. It's going to let us know right here and now if the game is over. So if he makes a Construct, he can block one of the Sedgemoors and he would still take 6 damage. I don't know how he gets out of this. And we will see if he's dead. Target creature phases out. So it looks like he is indeed dead here. And we swing all out. And I don't think opponent realizes they have Menace. And GG. Yeah, it was a good game. Alright, guys, 3-0. Going into round 4. And this hand looks like a pretty easy mull. Just doesn't really do much. This hand, however... Ooh, it's actually missing the animation spell, huh? Turn 1, Dark Ritual, Lotus Petal Grief isn't really overly exciting. Kind of like mulling this one too. This one's closer, but I do think you mull it. And it looks like our 5 is going to be pretty solid. I think you just bottom the Gris and the Brutality. Let's see what opponent does. Ooh, Volcanic Island, okay. We're doing Delver things, are we? And we're gonna get a Swamp here with Troll. Do you pitch the Grief here? That's the ultimate question. Wait one more turn and get one more mana. We could try to win all in one turn. I could see this going either way, guys. You could either 100% just pitch Grief here and play Entomb, or you could wait, which I like to do here. I'm playing this very patiently. We have all the tools to win, right? We just need to make it happen. Dark Ritual, I think, would probably be our best draw here. Or land. And we're going to take 3 here. Go down to 17. Gristlebrand. Okay. So now... Yeah, now I like Collector Brutality, discarding the Gristlebrand. It's uncounterable. So even if he does have Force of Will here, we're fine. Yeah, I think I do just like Collector Brutality in here to get the free discard outlet. And if we could hit a counterspell out of his hand too, that's even better, right? And he did have the Force of Will. Interesting. Okay, so he does have a Bowmaster. The Murktide Regent might be a problem. It might be correct to just grief the Murktide out of his hand right now. We'll see what I elect to do here. This is actually an interesting spot. Murktide is a very problematic card in this spot. More so because he could turn his Dragon Rage Channeler off Delirium, so it doesn't have to swing in the Gristlebrand. But I elect not to strip it. So it looks like he's going to go for Bow Boy here. Which we're totally fine with. Gristlebrand is going to dominate this board state even with a Bowmaster in play. he's gonna have to swing into Gristlebrand with his Dragon Rage Channeler, so I don't really know how he gets out of this. So now I think you just pitch cast Grief, exile the Entomb. He'll probably Bowmaster, which is fine. Okay, there's the Bowmaster. Handed all lands and Murktide. And I think we just pass here. So he's got a Kamikaze as Darcy into the Gristlebrand. Yeah, and he just concedes here. He sees the writing on the wall. There's no way you're coming back from that board state. I actually do like bringing in the Witch package in this matchup. I think having all the removal too for all their fast threats is like pretty decent. Reanimate. Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah, I am gonna board out Reanimate. The life loss actually does hurt. I think leaving in Exhumes over Reanimate just for the life loss is probably the correct call here. All right. So we are on the Smog plan against Delver. Let's see how this pans out. Um, Sand's close. It's got Troll, Snuff Out, Unmask. I think I'd keep this. This, I think his hand's very close, but I would keep this. I think having interaction, half your combo, and discard is like fine. Okay, we got Darcy covered with the Snuff. Animate Dead was a good draw. Okay, for Troll. I do kind of like unmasking him here. Interesting. I elect not to. Okay. Just playing it relatively patiently here. Ponder. Yeah, I like snuffing out the DRC with the Ponder on the stack. Let's see what he does here with his Ponder. Chooses to not shuffle. Okay. So I think now we just cycle Troll. We get another basic. Another land. Now I like unmasking. Interesting. I think you have to take the Murktide. Problem with taking Daze here is, like, yeah, it stops our Animate Dead, but then we just die to their Murktide Regent, right? Yeah, yep. I really think the Murktide has to go there. It sinks because it slows down Troll for one extra turn, but it at least makes it so we're not just dead, right? Animate Dead, okay. Not the worst draw. We'll see how this plays out. Brainstorm is a heck of a Magic card. And he is delirious. Ooh, Entomb. That was a very good draw. We'll see how I play this. Most likely as some kind of interaction. Interesting, I don't go for it at all. I am technically winning this race, barely. I'm just gonna make him discard 2 here. Oh no, he discarded 2 lands. You telling me you had nothing? Alright, well, we're both gonna be hellbent, and I'm gonna have a lethal graveyard. Get the Archon here, I would imagine. Oh wow, I go for the Gristlebrand. Okay. Wow, I can't believe with all those cards that were in his hand, he had all lands. Alright, well, gonna throw it back at him. He did have Force of Will. Interesting. This is a very, very close game. Opponent's gonna be at 2. Let's see if Troll could go the distance. Alright. GG's opponent. That was very close. All right, guys, we're 4-0. We're going for the trophy. Hey, our first league back. Can we get a trophy? We sure as heck are going to try. That is for certain. All right, final match. His hand is close. No animation spell. Am I going to risk it for the biscuit? If he's on a blue deck, this hand isn't that bad. Oh, wow, I keep it. Okay. Chromox is not what we wanted to see keeping this hand. It looks like goblins. Oh, man. Let's see what he rolls. Oh, he got a 6. Oh, am I just dead? Does this actual just turn 1 kill me? Wow. I think I'm just dead here, guys. He's gonna have 2, 4, 6. Yeah, he has lethal next turn. Wow. Alright. Well, GG. I guess it wouldn't have mattered what I kept there. So we're gonna shave on Exhumes. Bring out the creature package. We're gonna bring in the chain combo yet again. It's actually relatively good in this matchup, because they do play with Leyline of the Void. And a bunch of interaction. Alright. We will be on the play. This hand seems great. Gonna keep it. And there's the ley line that we talked about. Opponent is good at Googling. And we're going to throw to turn 1 witch. Turn 1 witch go. It's a good start. Oh man. Ancient Tube Chromox again? Does he have another turn 1? Oh, it's only Bombardier. Ugh. He's gonna be able to kill the witch. That's a bummer. Can't block it because of Menace. Can't block. I think I'm just now realizing this. Just need a Chain of Smog off the top. Come on, one time, deck. Probably can just play one out. I don't really see a reason not to. Like, yeah, he could kill it, but he'd have to sacrifice part of his mana. Interesting. And looks like I am gonna play one of them. Well, looks like he's probably gonna just kill the Witherbloom. And he is. Okay. Sedgemoor Witch isn't a bad draw. And it looks like I'm going to play out both creatures. Maybe in an attempt to try to double block here. Sticker Goblin, okay. I think I need the double block here. Alright, so board is clear. Unmasked, not a very good draw. Reanimate, that's a very good draw. So now we can reanimate his guy. Another reanimate. We're just getting in there. Something I miss here, I could have sacked the grief to the goblin's ability, I believe. Yeah, that's a huge punt by me not seeing that I could sack here. Huge punt. All right, and we win that game. Going on to game 3, guys, for all the marbles. I think the list in this matchup seems pretty good. You probably just run it back. Interesting. I'm opting to bring an extra removal in. Okay. His hand is close. It's very close, actually, but I think it is a mull. This hand doesn't do anything. Gonna go to 5. Gotta go to 4. This is rough. Well, now the question is, do you go for the witch combo or do you go for the entomb? I think on 4 cards, you just have to keep the Dark Writ, entomb, reanimate, land, and just hope he doesn't have Leyline of the Void. It's not the best spot to be in, but it's what we're here for, right? And here I'm having a internal agony with myself because I'm really afraid he's just gonna have Leyline of the Void, and because he snap kept on 7. So I'm debating whether I should try to keep a Witch hand or just go for the Entomb hand. So it's actually quite the decision. You could keep land, Dark Writ, Sedgemoor Witch, and hope to spike a Chain of Smog here. But I think just going for the Entomb hand is probably just correct. It's a 50-50. If he has Leyline, you get punished for keeping the Entomb hand. But if he doesn't have Leyline, you look like a genius for keeping the Entomb. Now I'm just trying to figure out what hand configurations I can do on 4 cards, and I think I've come to the realization I have to keep this. No Leyline, so that's good. Am I dead, OP? I like that. I like Mountain Pass. Oh, we're gonna jam here. Oh no. The draw 7 was a complete whiff. Ah, that's a nightmare scenario. So, so we drew no discard to try to get rid of his Muxus. Uh-oh. We're in trouble, guys. Come on, roll low. Ah, you got a 6. Uh-oh. Really needed him to hit like a 4 or 5 off that. Here comes Muxus. Got another 6. Oh no. Kiki Jiki? I got another 6? Holy moly. And a Battlecry Goblin. I think we're dead, guys. We can give all of his squad haste. Yeah. Unfortunate on all those 6s. But I think we're dead here, guys. There's no way. If I block... Yeah, it's super lethal. Yeah, GG. Yeah, GG's. I had to have my draw 7 there be much better than that. GG's opponent. All right, guys. So we're gonna end the league 4-1 in our first league back. Hey, really excited about the list. It's not only a list I'm now playing online, but I play primarily a lot in paper as well. Been putting up some really solid results with it. And yeah, guys, Really hope you enjoyed the video. This is the list right here. And yeah, keep on the Reanimator flame. Talk to you later.